Welcome back, everybody. Out in the seas on the fishing Atlantic, the North Atlantic. So this is the new boat. Yeah, it's not very fast. It's not as fast as the other one, but it does carry. I've upgraded the storage since my last stream, so it can carry 16 tons of lobsters. We now have 2 crew members. Let's see if they're awake. And there they are. So one holds the pods whilst the other baits them, as you can see. He's already cut up some bait in the bucket there. So we're fully stocked, ready to go. We just take them off duty because they get tired easy. There you go. Good night. It's a simple game, it really is. The graphics are basic. I've not experienced any extreme weather as yet, but that could change as the game progresses, as I get a bigger ship or I venture further out. Excuse me. So we've got till we're on 9th of May. The lobster season ends on the 31st of May. So the lobsters tend to bring in, of what I've gathered, more money per haul. I currently have 42,000. I have paid off one of the loans, which is why I've only got 42,000. So I've got to pay back 110,000, and then I can probably renew them 2 loans. The boats they have, I'm in 2 minds because that's 375,000. Max storage size 12 ton. Sorry. Now I don't know if that can be upgraded as this boat was. Fuel tank 6,950 litres. I'm not sure what I've got there. It is faster, top end, but it only does deep line, which is your cod and your trouts and stuff like that, and they don't bring as much money in as the lobsters. So obviously you've got this bad boy, which is a serious looking ship. Crew up to 8. Fuel tank 20,000 litres, 550 horsepower, 13 knots. Trawling type, bottom. Ship is rigged for fishing cod, pollock, haddock and redfish. So crabs, lobster, they're out the window. I think I'm tempted to get this one next. The backstabber. I don't know why it's called a backstabber. It's a horrible name. Yeah, I think I'll be going for that one next. 375,000. That's the Borge. That's what I uncovered, and I thought, yes, a new boat, a bigger boat. And I went and bought it, and yeah, I quickly sold it because it was pathetic. That's the only way of describing that boat. Pathetic. It does 7 knots max speed, and when travelling to places, it felt like it was taking me forever. So let's see if we got any update on the lobsters. We don't. We get regular updates on the pollocks and the redfish, but lobsters seem to be scarce. Right, let's get out of here. So the way I'm doing this is basically I'm going to head out to the lobster area, and then I'm going to fish for lobster for a full haul. I want a full cargo bay of lobster before I return back to the harbour. It's time consuming getting out. Oh, I didn't fuel up. Yeah, we need to fuel up. I That's not a good start, is it? We definitely need to fuel up. Because when we get out to the lobster area, we've got to set the pods, then we've got to pick them up, then we've got to set them again, then we've got to pick them up. And if we still need to, we'll lay another third set. So the travelling out is time consuming because it's not a speedboat, for one. But it's got a lot of, the game's got interesting a lot. What's say interesting? It's got better since adding the crew members, because now I can just focus on steering the boat, basically. The only downside to it is they're not fast. When the guy, well, the person, the crew member who's picking up the pods and bringing it into the boat, that's quite rapid procedure. But the other person who does the baiting of the pods or sizing up the lobsters, they tend to take forever. And ideally what I want to do is go full speed from one buoy to the next, pick up and so on. Not having to get to the next buoy and then wait while they do their thing. But I have upgraded the crew members since. Yeah, so each crew member has skills, and you can upgrade them as you see fit. So what I've done is I've upgraded the pot baiting and setting, sorting the crabs, pot hauling, and stacking, because they're the four main skills they're using for the lobsters. That's what I've upgraded. And then the other one, similar, stacking, pot baiting, sorting crabs, and pot hauling. Sadie tends to lose stamina a lot quicker than Nora. Yeah, it's basically the same standard skills between them. They can both cook, they can both repair the boat, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, happy days. And I figured something out as well. So on this little computer screen, we've also got a sonar, which is quite cool. Doesn't really come into play with the lobsters, but it does come into play when we do line fishing, which will get the lobster season out of the way and then crack on with that. We have got a logbook. We can open the logbook, which is self-explanatory. A map, logbook, wiki to explain what's what in the game, finances, as you can see mine are pretty poor, and missions, any missions you're currently doing. Well, yeah, I did have some choppy weather the other day. The sea darkened, and the waves got a little bit higher. Nothing too. I need to go back to harbour because I'm going to die. Nothing that extreme, but it made picking up the pods a lot trickier, because as the wave drops, you pick up speed. As the wave raises, you then lose a lot of speed. So it was a bit more tricky to judge where to put your boat to the side of the buoy. And we've had some snow, we had some rain, but apart from that, way forward really, no really major hiccups. On a full load, I brought a full load in with this boat of lobsters, which is 16 ton. And I brought in 360,000 euros. So, technically, on this haul, I should be able to buy the bigger boat. But if I buy the bigger boat, I can't do lobster. Lobster's really what it is. So, it's a tricky one. But on the same lines, we're doing 10 knots empty. When we're loaded and we're coming back in, we're only doing about 5 or 6 knots. soul destroying. I'm not gonna lie, it's soul destroying. I haven't really ventured out on the map. I mean, we're in Yarmouth, as you can see. So Yarmouth's there. So we've been up to Digby. Digby got lighthouse. We've opened that. Yarmouth, we've opened that. Dennis Point, we've opened that. Lockieport, we've opened that. I think there's only one more up here that we haven't opened. He says, yeah, and it's the furthest one away from us. Oh no, yeah, Digby's there. Yeah, so undiscovered location. As you can see, it's very far away from where I am. At 8 knots. I ain't going to be travelling there anytime soon. So we have 30 pods, where originally we started with 12. Each pod costing £1,000. And then we had to buy 5 loads of bait. The cargo bay fills before I run out of bait. That's if I'm catching. If I lay the pods and I bring in 30 pods and they're all empty, then I've used all that bait for nothing. So I will tend to use more bait than... It'll be the opposite way around, that's what I'm saying. So we are heading. So again, we're going off old reports here, so that's 14 days. That's 24 days. A month. So yeah. I think what we'll do, we'll come out the harbour and we'll head to this one here. And then we'll spin round and we'll do a full line right down here. And what I've noticed as well, so where the crab is there and then the arrow, I've not been dropping them on the arrow. I've been going past it to about there and then dropping them. And I'm presuming that's because they're moving. I'm presuming. That's what we're doing. And then we'll repeat. And then repeat. Then once we've got a full load, we can come back in. Crew members, about 55. Between 30 and 50,000 their wages per haul. So every time I bring a load in, I've got to pay some crew members. So on that bigger ship, you can have 8 crew members, I should imagine. But you do the maths, that's $400,000 to spend just on crew members. That's not bait, it's not lines, it's not hooks, it's not knives. Yeah, that's a lot of money. So your haul on that ship must be a lot to cover that cost. So I'm just going to get out the harbour and then we'll stick the good old autopilot on. Sorry, the fast travel on. And get up to our drop-off point. What I have noticed in the game as well is that it's really annoying, really annoying. So I have a save and I try and save regular. Reason being is, so where my ship is now, if I fast travel, it'll come down to this flag and then it'll turn right and it'll follow up to this flag and then it'll continue if I let it. These boats here, they tend to move as well. And the other day I was playing and I was on fast travel, my ship was travelling up the route and one of these ships came in front of me and it said it can no longer use the autopilot because we've got an obstruction. I thought, oh, okay, fair enough. So I came out of the game. My ship was upside down. It wasn't, it weren't an obstruction. It obviously slammed into it. But the point I'm making is I lost everything. I lost the boat. I lost the cargo. Yeah, I had to pretty much start again, really, which was really annoying. So that is a bit of a bug in the game. So when I do use fast travel, I'll use it, but if I see a ship coming my way or anywhere in my vicinity, I'll disable it. We don't want that to happen again. I didn't have to pay the loan off when I got back. I thought to myself, you know what, as soon as I can pay them off, the better. And then when I'm ready for the next ship, then we can jump straight into it. I mean, ideally, I want a boat that does it all. You know, the kind of the deep lines, the net fishing, the lobster, the crabs. Ideally, I want a boat that does everything. But I've not seen one yet. I've not seen one. So maybe when I've got the funds, maybe travel to different ports. See this ship coming across? Bye. Let's go over here. Get out my seat. Stick on the old binos. Come over here. That one there. Where's he gone? Yeah. So you can see that he's coming across my path. This is not a problem. I can disable the autopilot around it. But the problem is, if you go on fast travel, it shouldn't really cause you to it's like I've got dolphins here. We got dolphins. That's cool. Short-lived, but yeah, that was cool. Well, it wouldn't be very long, would it? Gone, vanished. I thought I seen a reflection in the water and I was like, what's that? I thought it had. Why's it gone past? It went straight past my waypoint and I thought it did. I didn't cancel the autopilot. This is what I'm saying. It's a bit glitchy. Which when you oh, didn't want to do that. Yeah, it's a bit finicky. Where am I going? I'm going up here. I mean, I must say I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the catching and that. But there is, you can tell it's an old game, which is what I'm trying to say. This is the enhanced version of the game, so I don't know what the differences are between this and the original. Stick some markers down. Now we're on track. He's turning. Yeah. You need to keep an eye on your game, and you keep an eye on what your boat's doing, what your crew members are doing, and at the minute they're resting. So what I tend to do is put the pods down, all 30 of them, and then I'll send the crew to rest. I will fast track 24 hours when the pods are hopefully full, bring the crew members back out, and then we go and pick up. But what, I don't know if I can, but what I'm going to try, no, I'm too fiddly. I was just thinking, it'd be good, when we put a line of pods down, 30 of them, all baited, and then we pick them up, we have to travel back up to the start point again to lay another. So maybe I should do it the other way around. When I finish, then bait it there and move, travel onwards. Not sure. Anyway, let's have a go at this fast travel. See what we can do. When it comes up with that, this is how I crashed, this is how it blew my ship up, it takes you out the game, you get a bit of an intro screen, and then it loads it back in. We're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that. Not losing my balls. Your freshly painted bolt. And it's definitely made the game a lot easier having the crew members, without a shadow of a doubt. Because beforehand I was piloting the bolt, and then you pick your buoy up by catching it in that circle I showed you, and then you would then go into your first person view, where then you've got to handle the winch to bring the buoy, to bring the pod on bolt. Then you've got to switch from there to emptying the pod, sizing up the lobsters, storing them in the box, and then putting the box into storage under the ship, and then putting the pod back into storage, which was time consuming. Whereas now, because you've got two crew members, they just crack on with it. And you just drive the boat. But yeah, so when I drop the last pod, rather than travel back up to the first pod again, I'm going to have to do that because the first pod is the time one. So when you drop the first pod, when the 30 pod is dropped, your first pod is in the water for about an hour and a half. So if you're fast tracked, you're going to be, it wouldn't work, so you're going to have to travel back up to the first pod. Ugly. So it's this one here. It's this lobster here that we're so stop the autopilot. Are we dead in the water? Yeah, we're dead in the water. Right, so what time is it? And the other thing I've been doing as well is I don't want to be dropping my pods at 12 o'clock at night, because that messes up with me. See how it's half past 7 in the morning? No, it's 7 o'clock at night. So if I drop the pods now, it's going to take it an hour. So it's going to take an hour. So that'll take it to 8:30. And then if 24 hours from now, it's going to be 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night when I'm picking back up. So you can see I'm going to be collecting the pods in pitch black. So that's not ideal. So what I've been doing is skipping the time to say 9 o'clock in the morning. Early morning. Let me just double check I've done that right. Yeah, so 9 o'clock in the morning. Crew's well and truly rested. The route's set. So now, get to work. So Sadie can go on. Nope. Sadie. Sadie can go on bait. There we go. So they're in action now. We have got a pod already set, and this is the easy bit. This is the easy bit. So we have got, let's look at our route. So this is our route. I'm gonna lay another flag down. That should be enough. It's 30 pods. That should be enough. So now we can start the autopilot. We're on max. Just watch how easy. Just watch how easy this is. We're aware. So we're on autopilot. I'm going to get past this yellow arrow, and we can start dropping. I don't want to drop dead on the arrow because obviously we can travel. I have dropped before on the yellow arrow. I've not caught anything. Right, just watch these two work. Quite cool. Yeah. Just spotted. Boy's gone. She's rigging the bait up in the pod. Now I can set it. But there's no finesse to this. It's just good to go. Get it in the water. I've dropped 3 pods into the showing. Dropped 3 pods in the water and none of them are showing on the map. Right. Okay, so what's happening is, as I'm placing the pods, someone's picking it back up. So, bait and set pot haul. That one, I've got him in the wrong place. That's why. Oh dear. Should we try again? There we go. So quick, autopilot on, let's go. Let's try again. There's always something. Your crew members are that good, they're setting and picking them back up. Two. I'm looking forward to the bigger boats. I'm looking at I mean, fuel wise, it doesn't, at the minute, it's not really an issue. The cargo's normally filled by the time I've got half a tank of fuel. So it's not a problem with this at the minute. But I think with the bigger boats, when I start venturing out, yeah, it could be a problem. We'll have to wait and see. $30 pods on this boat is the maximum amount of pods. You can't have any more than that. I know some of the bigger vessels you can carry 60 pods. But we are now the 10th of May. Lobster season ends on the 31st. Now like I say, I'm new to the game, I haven't played it before, so I don't really know what happens on the 31st of May. Can you still catch lobster? Do they reduce your price when you weigh them in? I've no idea. When you're doing this, you're looking at your map, and I'm looking for, this is my first marker coming up here, my first flag I put down. I'm looking for other vessels. If they come in the way, then I can just turn off the autopilot, wait for them to pass. 30 pods you can cover some distance. Which is why you want to make sure that when you're picking them back up, you're picking them back up in good time. So what I did on the last haul was, in the handbook it says you must wait 24 hours for the lobster, and then obviously if you look at the map you can see the buoys are red, completely red. That's because they're empty, nothing in them. But when you come back in 24 hours they change colour. So green is a good haul, blue is a massive haul. So they go blue first before they go green. Green meaning there's no harmony in it. So what I've been doing is I've been fast tracking, time lapsing, 23 hours, not 24. And that gives me an hour prior to the 24 hour, because what happened was I was setting the time for 24 hours, and when it loaded into the game, all my pods were blue, and I thought, yes, great, I'm going to get loads of lobster. But then as I started picking up the buoys, one by one, in front of me, the buoys started turning green. So by the time I got to the 30th pod, I'd lost loads of lobster. So now I'm doing it 23 hours to give me an hour to get started. It gives me an extra hour hauling the buoys back on the boat. That's the time consuming. I mean, this is not too bad, it's just autopilot, click one button, the buoys in the water. But when you're collecting them, it's a bit more fiddly. This is preparing the bait. There you go. Where before I had to do that by hand. I had to do everything by hand. It's so much easier. But obviously you're losing 100 grand, give or take, straight away, before you even take profit. And I'll show you anyway when we've done. I'm not quite sure of the end game. Don't know how you've completed the game or how you've maxed it out. I've no idea. I'm presuming it's when you've got one of the big boy ships. Is that you done then, kind of thing? I'm looking for waypoints. Yeah, so those are my waypoints. I just put them down just to make sure I've got enough distance to get my pods down. We have got a boat. Yeah, so some of these boats are line fishing, they're net fishing. As you pass them, sometimes you can see them throwing the nets out into the water, which is pretty cool. But like I said on the first stream, it's not Call of Duty. It's not fast-paced. It's a chill-out game. And it's one that I'm enjoying. I must admit, I'm enjoying it. The graphics could be better, the interactions could be better, boat scenery could be better, but for interaction and it's good. I enjoy it. What I would like to do is turn them off, but when they're off I can't see when I'm laying my pods or anything, so it'd be nice if I could minimalise them. I might be able to in the settings, but yeah, it's quite annoying, it's quite full screen. Even the like the speed and the fuel and the roads are there. If I minimised the screen, took them off, it would be nice if I could just have them 3 dials on so I can see what I'm doing, but hey ho. So that's our 20th pod. And this is hit and miss as well. I don't exactly know where the lobster is. Like I said, the locations are quite outdated. We are coming to the end of the season. I thought the season ended on the 1st of May. It doesn't, it ends on the 31st after checking the handbook. So we're good to go. What I noticed as well When she was watching that, and then the boat just fell in the water. That was odd. What I've noticed as well is, I forgot what I was saying. Come, come. So stamina wise with the crew, the last, I'm dropping the pods. Picking them up is a bit more intense. Sadie tends to get drained quite quick. Sometimes I've got the pods in before before she just walks off site. But again, she's tired, she's done, and she just stops what she's doing and she walks into the ship. Alright, okay. Well, that happened. Yeah, so the locations are a bit out. Last time there was spotted, so it is hitting this. But it is in the vicinity of the crab. You've got lobsters. You've got 3 sets of lobsters heading in the same direction, so hopefully, fingers crossed. But you can see 30 pods, 40 minutes into the stream. You know, it is time consuming just to get your pods down. And one thing I like about this is you can pick it up where you left off. You know, there's no urgency to come back into the game. There's no cash grabs or anything like that from the developers. Park your boat and not go on it for another 6 months, and then come back on and carry on where you left off. I love that. I love that. Which is probably why I still play Elite Dangerous. That's the same thing. Yeah, the developers have stopped the support for it, but hey, love of the game and all that. 07 Commanders, you guys out there, if you're listening, if you're watching, obviously the pods, the more full the pods are, the quickly we're going to fill our cargo there. But no pressure on me. 2 more and we're done. Well, for now. Heading for our last pod drop. There we go, last one in. Cancel autopilot. Now we've got a ship crossing in front of us. Send the crew to rest. See the stamina have dropped down a bit. There you go. Send them to bed. Yeah, how they're walking off there. When Sadie gets tired, that's what she does. She just walks off. The huff. Now, pods are down, spin the boat around, and we head back up to pod 1. 3 members are resting. Pod's not ready to be picked up yet, we will just drop it. We've got to do the time. We've got to get into the time machine and fast forward 23 hours. So while that's doing that, what was I going to do? Yeah. So that's done. So now I'm just going to delete my waypoints, and then I want another waypoint up here. You can see the line of our 30 pods. They're all in the line of the direction of that arrow. Bring that up here. Stick on the fast travel. Can't see any boats. Yeah, there's one down in front of us, I think. Oh, it's the one. See, right, so that's what I'm talking about. Right, so that boat sped over that direction and then changed direction and come straight at me. Now, if I've hit it, it's destroyed my boat. I'll tell you that right now. No. It's really annoying. That'll teach you. And I think it's just the mechanics of the game. It spoils it. Because it's kind of forcing you not to use the fast travel. And if you don't use the fast travel, well, the game just gets a lot longer. So we're going to go again. I think we got away with that one. We were lucky. Stop the autopilot, get rid of that flag. There we go. So here we are. So now, find my buoy. What I like to do is get my ship lined up with the first buoy. We're in the vicinity of it. And then I'll do the workings out on the time. Fast track. But I'll show you what I mean. So here's my first buoy now coming up. We'll just cancel the throttle. Back inside. Right, so the first pod has been in the water 4 hours and something. Can't see it. Exactly 4 hours it's been in the water. So I don't want 24 hours. If I do 24 hours, I'm going to be over. So we're going to go for 21 hours, which will take us to 10 o'clock in the morning. Daylight. There we go. Well, I say daylight. 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So now, right, back, put the crew back to work. And this time we've got a base and set pod. Pothole. Yeah, so pothole is to bring the pod into the boat, and then we need crab sorting, and that's that. So now, can you see? I'll show you quick. Can you see on the map where they're all blue? That's perfect. Now, the idea is because we've only gone 23 hours, we should get all them in before it goes green, or start to go green. Look how good this is. No fish were caught, low population, and that's the problem, because the lobsters are moving and we're guessing, even though they're showing up blue. So I might have dropped the first couple of pods too close to the arrow. Caught. So the base and then pods is wasted. Low population. Yeah. I'd rather catch one lobster than none. Yep. Well, this is not a good start. This is not a good start. But I guess this is the benefit of having 30 pods. If we only had 12, I've got 5 in already. All empty, by the way. That's half your pods wasted. But I suppose this enjoys the fishing. Pod 6, come on. Another fish. Nope, that's still nothing. Wow. I mean, I want my hand on the map, the showing blue. We're going to the handbook, full. Right, they can be showing full, and they're saying the pods are empty. It shouldn't take us too long to get this lining at this rate. Maybe I come too far up. Maybe. How far are we in? See, that one was 25. Yeah. I should have gone with that one. Nearly a month old report. So you can see the waves, as you can see, it's a lot deeper blue than what it was when I first started. And there is slightly more waves. Oh, be a lobster. Be a lobster. Look at him. I think he'll drop him too high. Oh right. 30 pods. 30 pods and not one lobster. Not a good start. Well, there's one good thing about it. Sadie won't be too tired. I've got to say, this has not happened before on the game. This is a new experience. Yeah, that new boat might not be happening. But to be fair, if you get a good haul, it's a quarter of your cargo space. It's over 2.5 ton. You just caught. Pod coming up. the thing is as well, once the 72 hours is up, if you've not brought your pods in, you lose them. As I figured that out the hard way, and I lost half my pods when I first started playing. They shouldn't be blue. If there's no fish and if there's no lobsters caught in the pond, then they shouldn't be blue. So there's another problem. There's another gripe. Come on. Nope. I've dropped them too early. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, them last 5, and just after that, last lobster. Well, without much luck here. Sadie's still with us, so she's not she's not too tired yet. What I'm going to do as well, when if any of these pods have got lobster in, then I'm going to drop a buoy in the water as a marker. That might be a good idea. Last 10. I mean, bear wise, we've got enough bait, it's not a problem. Because the reports for the lobsters are so old, I'm wondering whether it's better to get the bigger boat now and start fishing for all-round season fish. So at least then you're catching, at least then you... And what I noticed as well, cause I did the net training tutorial and I did the tutorial for the deep line, both for fiddly. You have to gut your fish and yeah. But what I did notice was you filled your cargo space a lot quicker than fishing for lobster. A hell of a lot quicker. So, and the money's nowhere near as much as what you get. Like 306, 320 grand I think I got the full haul of lobster last night. You wouldn't get that in normal fish, I don't think. 22. Yeah, don't give up your day job. This is a new one to me. This has not happened since I started playing. We're nearly an hour into the stream. We've not caught one lobster yet. I suppose this is the game, isn't it? This is the trick to it. Yes, the stamina's hardly moved. Quite an easy shift for him. 4 more. Any lobster would be good at this point. See the fuel dropping. Now I've got rescue service insurance. So if I run out of fuel, I can call the rescue service to come and haul me back to port. If you've not got it, it costs you 8,000. Oh, we've got lobsters. So yeah, I've dropped the pods too early. So what? Yeah, I've dropped them way too early. So we're going to the next pod now. And this is where it gets a bit tricky because I've got to time it from when they've sorted the bait out. They won't pick up whilst they're sorting the sizes of the lobsters, so we have to wait. And this is the tricky bit. I've got to keep in the area of the buoy. There we go, we're off. So that was 161 kilograms of lobster we just picked up. Obviously this one's a new catch, so this Lanson's talking. Yeah, I've dropped the pods too early, way too early. I'm going to pick this one up. We're not going to... Yeah, we have to rest them. If I drop a 30 pod now, without giving them rest, and we get halfway through and say they'll just walk off, well then I've got to do both. So I'll just give them a rest. There we have it. That's the last one. And now I'm going to go back to the tip of that arrow. I'm going to do all that again. I obviously dropped the pods too early. Send the crew to rest. We can cook meals as well, both for some of the ships. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not equipped with a cooking area, an eating area. So even though we can prepare meals and cook them, we can't really sit down and eat, as I fathomed out the other day. Right, so that's that. Let's go back into the ship. What time is it? 12:12. So again, need to go to 9 o'clock in the morning. Back in the driver's seat. Get the big map. So I'm going to do it from there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel the coastline. When I say coastline, the shelving. Right, so that's that. Come out to that. Crew are fully refreshed, so we need one on bait. Bait and set pod. Yep. Full steam ahead. I'm going to keep these ones tighter than before. Yeah, the others spread out quite a lot. Keep these ones tighter. Let it do the turn first before I drop it up. When I first started playing the game, what I was doing was I was catching a few lobsters and then I was travelling all the way back to the port, selling them, restocking on bait and that, and then coming back out again. It was really time consuming. Where now I won't leave this area until I've got a full cargo. Otherwise, you're spending most of your time travelling. But having the crew members take care of this side of it, it's so much easier. It's just a case of following the track and dropping the pods when they're ready. What I said before about following the coastline, it's not really the coastline, it's the depth of water. You can see the colour blue change from a light blue to a darker blue. That means it's deeper. When you go right out on the other side of the map shows it's really dark blue, which tells you it's extremely deep. And I think that's where you're going to hit adverse weather. I'm presuming. We're only in May. I'm not quite sure how dangerous these waters get in the game. It'll be interesting. The game did start in the early months of the year, and I think that's to give you time to get a bigger boat. As you get further on the year into the winter time, I'm presuming the weather gets really tricky. That's my theory. Got pod 12's out. And I always try and drop as many flags for the route to follow, just to make sure I've got enough. To get 30 pods out. I don't think there's a time. I don't think there's a time frame on your caught lobster or caught fish that's stored, as I've figured out yet. Where you've got to pull your lines in or pull your pods in a certain amount of time before your fish or your lobster or your crab dies. Whilst doing your storage, they're safe. From what I've gathered, I may be wrong on that. But up until now, I've not had a problem. Where now I've got lobsters in the storage, they are now a day old. Because we've skipped a day. And I'm going to skip another day now, so that's going to be 2 days to collect the pods. And then we'll do it, so you're looking maybe 4, maybe 5 days being in storage before you get to the harbour. But before I had crew members, the ship would be following the track and I'd be out on the back preparing the pod, preparing the bait, drop it and haul them into the sea. Where because I've got crew members now, they just crack on and get the job done. They just pilot the boat. Making sure that no other shipping vessels are going to slam into us like this one in front of us. The only time I tend to have a problem with other ships is when I'm on fast travel. Yeah, you've got to be really, really careful when using that. It can ruin your career. And I lost my boat and I had to start again. So that'll be a warning to you. Not a bad ship. Could do with being a little faster. Engine's been upgraded, so it's maxed out to 12 to 13 knots. But as you become heavier and heavier with the load, your ship gets slower and slower. Which is good dynamics for the game. It's just not when you're travelling back to the harbour at 5 knots. That's our 24th pod. Six more. Like I said, not a batch of bait getting cut up. Yeah, I'm not leaving it much distance between the one pod being dropped and then the other. Before I was leaving like bolt length before dropping, to give the crew time to sort out the bait and everything else, but this time I'm just throwing them in. We should get these last 2 pods out before we hit the last waypoint. Then we can haul ours back to where we started. And hopefully that's a really good, hopefully we get a good haul on this one, hopefully. Otherwise I'm going to sell my boat quick. Yeah, so that's all done. rest. Spin it around. Head back. I did think the other day, I thought to myself, well, why don't you drop 15 out, 15 coming back, which would make sense. But if, like you've just seen, we dropped 30 pods out, and not one, sorry, apart from the last couple, they were all empty. So you're putting all your eggs in one basket in one area, if you did that. So this is why I do it like this. And what I like doing now is, so the crew are rested, all the pods are out, I just like getting up, and go and have a look at the bait scenario. So we have a full box of bait. We have, is that one box? 2 boxes of bait left. We're doing alright, I think. Not problem for concern. We've bindled back up to pod 1. With your crew, you can put the crew on repair, employment, cooking, but again, we don't eat. It just says this doesn't have the facilities, this ship. So I'm presuming it means a cooking and eating area where they can sit down and eat the meals. And then it's just a case of repeating. Get to pod 1, fast track, whatever hours is needed, and start collecting the pods. But this time what I might do is when I collect the pods and I get to the last 30, turn the boats around and then come back up and drop them, rather than coming back up and then dropping back down. That'll save a bit of time to do that. Whether the crew will have enough stamina to do that is another story. It's starting to rain. The other boat, the first boat I had, the Lenore, it's called Lenore. It had like a little gangplank that came out from the front of the boat, so you could walk out and stand on it, which looked like you were floating over the water as it motored on. It's quite cool. And this boat's not got that. You're limited to where you can walk. But still, she does the job. Just over an hour into the stream, and we've caught 688 kilograms of lobster. If you are new to the channel, we appreciate your support. You can watch all the published videos from the live streams on the YouTube channel. We have a Discord that you're welcome to come and join. I play various games. I have my own World of Tanks squadron. I have Elite Dangerous squadron, which is all in the Discord. I do mobile gaming, which is on the Discord. Yeah, it's a gaming community. You're welcome to come and join us. It's fairly new, as in the channel's fairly new to streaming. I'm just trying out various games. World of Tanks is one game that I play. Flight Simulator, Flight Sim 2024. What else do I play? I play World of Ships, similar to the tanks, except to the ships, it's water. But it would be on water, wouldn't it? What else? Out on the road trucking simulator. Not the best trucking simulator in the world, but it's what we've got on the console. I'm so looking forward to the Euro Truck Simulator come out for console. You have no idea. I'm so looking forward to that. But I'm doing a playthrough. I've done Out on the Road Trucking Simulator before, a couple of times. From the live streams, I just wanted to give it a playthrough once more before the Euro Truck Simulator comes out. Because I think once that comes out on the road, will probably never come out again. But I enjoy playing games that don't have an ending. You know, you just jump in any time. I don't know how this game ends. I don't know whether it's, you reach maximum level and that's it, game over. You just fish. Or when you buy the biggest boat, a silly amount of money, and you just enjoy the game. So yeah, so fishing the North Atlantic, what I'm doing there is a playthrough. Out on the road is a playthrough to get to the end. Elite Dangerous. I've not done any live streams on Elite Dangerous yet. Mainly because I've been playing it for a long time and I don't know the best angles to go at for it. World of Tanks, again, live streaming. It's just gameplay, just watching me. There's no progression start to finish apart from levelling up the tanks and stuff. Same with World of Ships. Snow Runner, yeah, that's a progression. Snow Runner is a different beast altogether. I've only just started playing it. I just bought another truck, which is like a military truck, hardcore truck. Seems very capable in muddy and swampy grounds. So I might jump onto that and do some live streams with me Snow Runner. Also I got I've got the Hogwarts, the new one, Harry Potter. I've not started playing that yet, so that might be a live stream for me, for the Hogwarts. From start, see how I get on with that. I've never played it before, I've even loaded it up, I've installed it, and that's as far as I've got. Flight Simulator, yeah, Flight Simulator, I'm probably going to do some live streams on flights, various locations. I do enjoy flying the helicopters on Flight Simulator, the oil rigs, flying the helipads in Los Angeles, whether it be the hospitals, helipads, or the Los Angeles Police Departments. They can be quite challenging. So there we go, we're at pod 1. 3 members are set. Let's rock and roll. Let's see if we have a better one this time. We could do with a full haul, to be honest. We'll see. No fish were caught, no population. I think this is because we're coming to the end of the season. It has to be. Because it's pretty dire, to be honest. All buoys are blue. But it's saying low population, so there's no lobsters about. That's the issue. Yeah, got something there, I think. Yeah, got something there. Got a sorting bucket out. She's measuring the crab. Lobster, you call them crab. You know what I mean. She's measuring the lobsters and then she'll store them, and the smaller ones go back in the water. Be interesting to see how much we catch here. 688, so we caught 198 kilo of lobster then. The more the pods are full, the longer it takes to sort it out. But that's a good start. Third pod in, nearly a ton in weight. That's a good start. So she's still sorting the batch out from the last buoy, the last pod we've just picked up. So I've just got to try and position the boat and keep it in the area of the buoy, ready to collect. There we go. Then we can off to the next one. About 170 kilo of lobster we picked up then. And the pods should get fuller as we progress down the line, because they're in the water longer. There we go. And it is a bit tricky to keep the boat on the side of the buoy. Water seems pretty calm at the minute, but it's still a bit tricky. It would be nice if she could sort out the lobster a bit quicker, so that when I reach the next pod, she's good to go. But it takes time, and the more full the pods are, the longer it takes her or him. Now at 1,300 kilograms, 1.3 ton. We can carry 16 tons. But if we can get these 30 pods in and be at half the tonnage of what we can carry, then that'll be a good start. And don't forget as well, when we come back from this haul, if you come out and you don't catch any fish, you don't catch any lobsters, you've still got to pay your crew. So you need lobsters, to pay the wages, otherwise it's coming out of your own pocket. And then it's just a case of following the line of your pods, picking them all up. You can't really use the autopilot for this because obviously crew members move at different speeds. If there's one lobster in the pod, they're going to be a lot quicker than what they would be if there was 15 in it. So your autopilot wouldn't work. You've got to do it by hand. Just over 2 ton. We're on to pod 10. We're doing alright here. Doing better than the first one. But I'm going to do that when I get to when I pick up the 30 pod. Instead of coming all the way back up and putting a line of pods down again, I'm going to put the first one down where pod 30 was. Obviously keeping an eye on the fuel gauge as well. Ship's drifting there. If you're out in the area, they won't pick it up. Just try to be as efficient as possible. Get them in as quick as you can, really, because obviously stamina is a thing. Wasting fuel as well. So graphics aside, you know, and a couple of the glitches, bugs or whatever you want to call them, it's actually a good game. It keeps you busy. You're involved. You've got to think about where you're putting your pods, where the lobsters are, your crew members, fatigue, and I like a game like that. We're on to pod 12. Doing alright here. We want a full catch. We want a full cargo haul before we head back. And we're alright for fuel, yeah, I'm not too concerned. As soon as the pod's picked up, I'm off to the next one. Pod 13, lucky 13. We're over 3 ton now. It soon builds up. You soon fill your cargo up. You know, if the pods are full. It soon fills up. Some of the bigger boats, their cargo space is only 12 ton. Where this one, obviously I've upgraded it. I'm hoping I can upgrade the others, to be honest, because 12 tons now these are an element, is it? So we're at 3.2 ton. We're halfway through the pods. Waves are picking up, I think. Come on, Sadie. There we go. So that haul of lobster was just brought in. That was just around about 300 kilos of lobster. That was the highest one yet of this particular drop. Another 15 of them. Pod 15. Come on, Sadie. There There we go, we're off. It's getting quicker. How's the stamina doing? Stamina's alright. Well, just coming over halfway line. And the stamina's not halfway yet, so we should get this load in. Ideally. Don't want to be having... I mean, if say he walks off because he's lost stamina, then I have to step in. He still wants a full pair. Just under 4 ton now. And remember, full load, full 16 ton of lobster brings in around about $310,000. But it's worth staying out. I know it's a bit of a task to lay a line of pods, 30 pods, and then having to go and do it again and again. But that's fishing, isn't it? That's what they do. There we go, over 4 ton. With all these pods, I'm thinking we're going to get half a tonnage here, half a load. We want that bigger board, don't we? Oop. The boys playing hard to get. Come here. I'm so glad he upgraded the boys though and put lights on them, because I would never find them in the dark. Not on my eyesight. On 19, here we come. You can see the waves, you know, not massive waves, but you can see the waves' effects on the boat and how it's making it tricky for me to pick the buoys up. So you can imagine what it's going to be like in bad, extreme weather. And I don't really know the effects of food. So when you start feeding, if the stamina of the crew drops halfway and you give them a meal, does the stamina come back up? I don't know that yet. I'll figure that out when I get a bigger boat. Come on, Sadie. We're all with you. Pick it up, pick it up. Oh. There we go. Just under 5 ton. Last 11 pods. It's a good haul, that. Just a shame the first haul was a write-off. Just under 5 ton now. I mean, could you imagine doing this with 60 pods? Cargo space would have to be huge. pod 23. I feel like I'm doing bingo. Number 11. Stamina's about halfway there. Sadie. The other crew member doesn't seem to have a problem. But Sadie tends to lose more stamina quickly. Or quicker, should I say. What are we on there? Number 6 ton. We've got 5 more pods, so obviously the upgrade on the crew members has worked. Because when I first came out with the crew members, I lost Sadie halfway through. She just walked off. Like, where are you going? God damn it, Sadie. So you have to play with the throttles, you're playing with the reverse, the forward, to get the bolt, or try and keep the bolt in line with the pickup. So yeah, we're at 6.1 ton. So if we manage to get another 900 kilo, that'll be 7 ton on that one line of pods. And I hope when I buy a bigger boat for 275,000, I hope it is a bigger boat. It feels more. I mean, this is a nice boat. It is a nice boat. Come on, back up. Back up. There we go. He's got it. There you go. 6.5. I don't think we're going to reach 8 ton, but I don't think we're going to be far off either. Oop. Yeah, I remember when I first started and I put my first line of pods out. They had no lights and no flags. Trying to pick them up in the dark was an absolute nightmare. .8 ton. I can't see us getting past that. Well, like 900, 1100 kilos divided by 3. What's that? 4, 8, 12. Yeah, it's about 360, 370 kilo per pod. Can't see us getting that. I don't think we'll be far off 8 ton. We'll get to pod 30, pick that up, put the crew members to rest, spin round, set my waypoints, then drop another 30, do it all over again. Should take us over Oh, where are you going? Drifting. This one that she's doing now should take us over 7 ton. Yeah, 7.2 ton. Last pod. Like I said before, normally I manage to fill the cargo first before I run out of bait. But because we laid 30 pods down and nothing came back, I'm not sure how we're going to get on with this one. I think we'll be alright. 7.3 ton. There we go. Let's check the map. Yeah, so while they're doing that, I want to go from here to there. Do that. So start the autopilot, max speed, crack on, son. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get to the flag one, let them finish off the bait. Still measuring the crab. And then once it's sorted, I'll send them to rest, go time lapse the following morning, get them sort of fully rested, and then we'll get cracking. The next line. Go on, Sadie. There we go, she's done. Right, so what are we? 7.8? Yeah, so we're just under 8 ton. Not bad. Off one line. Let's get him to bed. Go on, Sadie, you worked hard. While that's doing that, I'm just going to have a gander on those baits. That's full. Empty bait there. We've still got 2 there. I'm not sure when we chop up the bait whether they use 1 tray or 2. I'm not sure, but it should be alright. I mean, if we run out of bait, then we run out of bait. Let's just stop here a minute. Be back in a second. Okay, sorry about that. What was I doing? Yeah. So, let's get them. I ran into a wall. Let's go to Nana. So we've not put the pods down yet. We're going to go to early morning. Engage the autopilot. I'll get the crew members up just yet. They're fully rested though, that's a good sign. Tell you what, we will get them up. So we'll have baiting set, per bait. Again, this is going to be very fast dropping of pods. Are we good to go? Yep. Rock and roll. What I will do, turn on the jukebox. There was a track. See if I can find it. There we go. It's the most lively track I've found in all of them. No AC/DC, unfortunately. What I'm trying to do is get these pods out as quickly as possible. Get back round and get the crew members to rest. Leave it with a clause now. Exactly green, that line. So the red line circling the bolt tells you it's green, it's red. So when you're ready to drop the next pod, it should be green. Rather than have all these menus on the screen. So, that's what I was waiting for. I was thinking it change it green when it's a drop in, but it didn't. That's why there's a big space between 2 and 4. Oh well. Nearly 2 hours on the stream. Woohoo! If you're still with me, thank you for joining us. Keep chatting. I keep chatting and forgetting to set the pods. Might need to do a third one. Might not need the full 30, but I don't think we're going to get full load off this line. Might do. Might surprise us. Having the crew members makes it so much easier. You've got to make sure you catch it, otherwise when you return to port with no fish, you're not going to be able to pay your crew members. The bigger boat is, I think it's the deep line fishing, so you need the deep line rig on your ships. You've got to buy that. You don't buy the ship with it, you've got to buy that, and then you've got to buy the lines, and then you've got to buy the hooks and the knives, and it all costs money. I think it's something like $35,000 for a high-end knife for cutting your fish. The higher end of knife increases the quality of your fish when you gut them. But once you've bought the knife, the hooks, you've got them. So it's a one-time purchase. Back your nets, you have to repair your nets. But where I've been upgrading the skills on the lobster side for pod baiting, the rig for bringing the pods onto the bolt, sizing the lobsters up. When I get the other bolt, that'll change. I'll have to work on the skills needed to do deep line fishing and gutting and that kind of thing. So we're 1,500 metres away from the final waypoint. I'm hoping to get all 38 before then, but if not, we'll just go a bit further. Well, there's no point going further because we know there's no fish there. Nope, chopping more bait. Go easy on that bait, Sadie. Got lobsters. But you can see now, from the boat that was empty that left the harbour at 13-14 knots, we're now carrying 8 tons of fish. We're now down to 8 knots. So by the time we've got another 8 ton on, we're going to be down to 5-6 knots to get back to the harbour. Which is why you need a bigger boat. I mean, I had some fog, some mist, and heavy rain the other night, which was nice. Which is just a shame that fast travel's a bit tricky. I mean, you can see on the radar where the ships are, but when you're doing fast travel, the ships are moving at a rapid pace. I'd say they're moving faster than you. Do catch you out, and then when you load back into the game, your ship's upside down in water, and you've got a hefty fine. You've got to pay for the recovery of your boat, well, a rescue mission for you basically, and then you've got to pay for a new boat and repairs and all your rigging, and yeah, that's why I started again, because I didn't have the funds, which was soul destroying. It was gut wrenching. Technically that wasn't our fault. That's the 20th pod down, 800 metres. Are we going to do it? Are we going to get 10 down? I mean, if we're 500 kilos or something like that off full tonnage, then I might just head back to the harbour. Because if you lay down 30 pods and 5 pods fill your cargo, you still have to pick up your other 25 pods, but the lobsters go back into the sea, so is it really worth it? Going to be close, we're nearing the flag, 600 metres, come on. Get down what we can, then do a U-turn and head back. We do want full 30 pods out. Tell you what, where are we? That line's a little bit off. Delete that. They weren't bothering them. How are we doing for stamina? Yeah, fine. 28, 2 more. Yeah, waypoint coming up. Buoy water, waypoint. I was, when I was on this the other day, I was heading towards on autopilot like I'm doing now. And what that buoy is, I thought it was a waypoint, it weren't, it was an actual buoy, one of them big metal ones. Yeah, I had to cancel the autopilot and swerve it, otherwise I'm going to rob my boat off. Last pod. Job done. We'll have a well and rest. So get rid of that. Spin it around. Head back to one. Fingers crossed for this one. Fingers crossed. There you go. So you can already see that first pod has been in the water an hour and 30 minutes. So fast track. Sorted. Get rid of that. There was a ship heading towards us. That one there in front of us. This is our first pod here. Go. All set. Right. So now, how long has that been? So that's been in water 3 hours. Just double check again. Yeah, 3 hours. Don't know why it does that. You go into the map to see your buoys, and then when you come back out of it, it's like loading. I don't know why it does that, it's annoying. So 23 hours, so I only need 20, 21, no, 20 hours. 20 hours, yeah, that should be enough. Yep, the blue. We need pothole. And sorting of crabs. Let's go. Right into it. There we go, that's a catch. Good start. 0.1. See, it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. It's taken a while to sort out. It's a good sign. Might not need another one. Another run. Hopefully. Yeah, so this is the time-consuming part now because we're waiting on Sadie, who has to sort out the size of the size of the lobsters, and then she stores the crate, and then she's got to remove the pod off the sides before the other crew member can pick up. And doing the pods this way as well, heading north up the map, is taking us closer to Yarmouth Harbour where we sell the fish. Oh, hopefully this 30 pod, hopefully this takes us to a full load. So far so good. Pod 5, here we go. No pressure, Sadie, no pressure. I think that's a 9. I think we're at 9.4, I think it is. Can't really see it properly. My eyes, my eyes. Fantastic radio stations turned itself off, I see. If you're watching this, I bet you're thinking thank God for that. No, still on. Music's very tranquil, very go to sleep music. I know we're fishing, but I can't see fishermen on Delia's catch listening to this kind of music. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. Now we're at 9 ton. 9 ton and 21. And I've already got nearly 50,000 euros. $50,000, sorry. That's in my bank. So whatever we earn is on top of that. Oh, stop. Stop, 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 stop. I think I'm going to get a bigger boat and do the deep line fishing. Jump straight into that, I think. Do I sell this boat? I think I will, to be honest. Because lobster season's January, December to end of May, so really I'm not going to use this boat again all year, so I might as well sell it, because I'm only going to buy a bigger boat after I bought this bigger boat. But there is a boat that does everything. It does lobsters, it does cod, it does trout, it does them all. And I think that's your end game right there. Once you get that boat, you can then do all of it. Where this one, you can either do one or the other. But it's slow. It really is a slow boat. Speaking of slow, come on Sadie. So we're just under 10 ton there. Odd 10. 20 more. How are we going to do it? When I was sorting the lobster out before I got the crew members, you have to be a certain size, and yeah, I just bagged everything. I couldn't work out what I shouldn't be keeping and what I should be keeping. So I just I just kept everything. And then what happens is when you get to the harbour, they hit you with a fine because your lobster's too small or the wrong type. So what money I was making, I was losing some of it. There we go, we just brought 10 ton, 10.1 ton of lobster. 13 more to go. It's going to be close. Like I said, we bring the 30th pod in, and we're, you know, 500-600 away from the full cargo, then we'll just call it there and head back to port. Enough for one night, I think. Stop. Stop. I'm getting better at allowing this boat on though. That was a good haul. Oh, bit past. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be far off it. About 10.6 ton there. She was quick then. 180 kilo of fish. 180 kilogram of lobster, sorry. Yeah, she was a lot quicker then. That might not be a good thing. I mean, the pods are getting lighter. We don't want them lighter, we want them heavier. I mean, the dynamics of the boat as well, carrying weight, is a lot more controllable. It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? You can in the controls when you try and manoeuvre, you can feel that it's heavier, which is good. Yeah, that pod was a lot lighter, 90 kilogram. That's not good. So this, if you look at the map, we're getting closer to the crab, which is why the weight's getting lighter and lighter because they've travelled, and that's why I'm thinking it's best if we switch to a bigger boat and go and fish for all round season fish, because it's just a guessing game where they are at the minute. Yeah, they've gotten a lot lighter. But again, the buoys are showing up blue, which is telling me that they're full. We're drifting a bit there. And for me to, so I was playing with the idea the other day when I picked up the pods are now full. So when I come to pick up this pod here now, if I hang fire and wait until Sadie's sorted the lobsters out, rebait the pod and throw it back in. I was playing with the idea of doing that. The only problem is I've got to go into the crew and change them round position of them. Otherwise it won't work. So it's a little bit fiddly. And when you're already pushed against the clock for the stamina running out, it's not ideal. It would be better if we could do that. 128 kilogram in that pod. I don't think we're going to get 16 ton out of the remaining 8. But we're now just over 12, so it's 4 ton we need. I don't think we're going to get 4 ton here. I don't think so. It'd be nice if we did. We'd go straight back to the port, but I mean, that last pod was 128 kilogram, which was 30-40 kilogram heavier than the last two. So who knows? missed it. That bolt going to start right on top of my pod. Oi mate, shift your boat. You're in my way. I mean, we're not a million miles away. You know, we're at 12.8 ton now. We're not that far away, but I don't want to head back without a full cargo. Don't think I've got to pay wages to the crew and that. You on top of my pod? No. Can't park that there, mate. Don't mind us, we'll just go round you. Yeah, so we just cleared 13 ton there. We've got 3 ton to get. And there we have it. There's no fish in that one. That means the remaining 3 are all empty. Fantastic. These ones should be pretty straightforward then. There's no fish in that one. 13.2 ton. Same again, no fish. Aye aye aye. Can do. Not today, sunshine. What's the stamina like? Yeah, we're okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this one up, and then I'm going to about turn, head back down to wherever it's come from, and drop off the pods. I'm not going to drop until I get past them boards. Well done here, Captain. Aye aye, sailor. Aye aye. See how she's wavering, how she's struggling to manoeuvre with the weight. So we're heading that direction. I don't need a plot of course or anything. I'm just going to head in that direction. And what I need to do now, change the crew over. I need one preparing bait. I'm not sleeping yet. I need another one. Need you bait and setting. we're not dropping yet. I think what we'll do, see how many pods we can get out before the stamina runs out. Oh, there's lots of me. In fact, I will plot a course because I don't think. Go, go, go! Pod out! Bombs away! Come on, crew, do me proud. We're barely doing 6 knots with a full load on. And this is what I'm saying. It's a good little boat. But she's slow. We've not even got massive waves, you know. You know, the weather changes and we do get adverse weather and the waves pick up and yeah, we're never going to get back. So we're going to drop pods until Sadie departs the boat. So we've just laid the 20 pods. I think that's more than enough than what we need, but still, to make sure we fill our cargo space, that's what we've got. Do a bit of fast travelling. No ships, is there? No. There we go. Delete that waypoint. That's another thing I don't like. So I've just been out, started the waypoint, come back in, it's like it drops your boat into the sea. Hence why there's a certain ring, like circle going around it. Takes away the realism. So we're going to fly over to pod 1, fast track the time, and start picking up. Pod 1. Might not need 20 pods, but Sadie has plenty of stamina, so I thought, why not? Right, so let's have a look. For 2.5 hours, pod 1, 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours, 24 is 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah, so we're looking about 20 hours. 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's good. How long was it? 2.5. So that's 1.5. That gives us half an hour for the 24 hour. It's gonna be 20 hours. Oh, we have fog. Ooh, the drama. Let's just back the boat up a bit. She'll let me. As I say, when she's loaded, she's a lot more difficult to handle. Doesn't seem to want to turn, does it? Let's get the crew members to work. So we want pothole and sorted the crabs. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. 20 pods. All blue. I don't think we're going to need 20 pods, but fish on. Water's a lot calmer. Drop the pods close as well. Come on, Sadie. that one. 300 I reckon. 300 kilograms. And I'd love to tell you, but it's not told me. That's took us over 13 and a half ton. Only 2.5 ton needed. And can you see how much gap I've left between the tip of the yellow rabbit and the first pod? Quite a long way. So obviously the crab have moved. Lobsters have moved. What happens is once we've filled the cargo, any more pods that are in the water, then you pick it up, they collect the pods, but the lobsters get thrown away. They're thrown back into the sea. Pod number 4. Big holes, these big pods. If I'd gone when I time lapsed it, I was about an hour before the 24-hour mark. If I'd gone that hour over, I could have risked having no lobsters in the pods. There's 14 ton, pod 6 on the way. So the next live that you see me on the fishing North Atlantic, you'll see me in a bigger boat doing a different type of fishing, which will be the deep line. I think it's the deep line that does. But I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking, I'm playing with the idea of travelling to the other side of the map to unveil that port, because each port has their own ships. So there might be ships there that are better suited than what is at Yarmouth, if that makes sense. So I'm tempted to do that, just to unveil the map, really, unveil the harbour. That's all the harbours unveiled then. I've been to every one of them. Be interested to see, because it's the furthest away, you'd expect it to have better ships, I would have thought. It's more of a challenge to get there. But I'd have to do that empty. I couldn't do it fully loaded. 5 knots. Be another 20 streams. It's a pity the first load out wasn't successful like this one. It's a learning curve. I didn't take into account that the lobsters moved. This should take us over 15 ton. 15 ton of lobster. That's a lot of lobster, that. 15.2 ton. Yeah, we're not going to need all these pods, but it was better putting them out and making sure. If I just put 10 out, I guarantee it I would need another 5, so... Nearly a 3-hour stream, guys. Nearly 3 hours. Oh, not concentrating. Don't think that was a good one. That seemed a lot lighter, that pod. Said he completed that in a quicker time. And what I've noticed as well, when you get to your cargo max, so say for example we get to 15.8 ton, which is 200 kilogram less than our maximum. If we then pick a pod up, that's say 250 kilo, it won't accept it. It doesn't take out that to maximise your cargo and then put the rest back in the water. It just refuses the whole lot. Which again, is quite annoying. I feel like being robbed. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, it's a bit of fog, a bit of mist. Call it that. I mean, we are in the middle of May. I'm interested to see what the bad weather is, because in the handbook of the game it says do not take smaller vessels out into the deep waters, as you may find trouble with the extreme weather. The sea can be dangerous in big letters, so I'm interested to see how dangerous it can be. I'm hoping I'm hoping I'm fully insured by then, so if my boat does capsize or fast travel manages to kill it, I can buy a new one. Storage is full. 29.8 kilogram of fish was lost. I think this is the case of picking them up now. We are full. We are 900. I can't read the digits. 999 or 998 kilograms. Of lobster. I think she's sorting something out there, so we're going to lose some more here. Yeah. You see what I mean? It doesn't, like that was 32.8 kilogram of lobster that's been put back in the sea, but we're still at 998. You'd think it'd make that difference up to a full 16 ton and then bin the rest, but it doesn't. And I know it's only 2 kilogram, but it does that when you're 35 kilogram short or you're 45 kilogram short. It doesn't make it so you've got a full load. Come on, Sadie. That was a big haul, that. That was a 300 kilogram pod. That was a good one. I think all these are going to be big. Yeah, that was 219. Lost. Put back to sea. a lobster that weighs about 2 kilograms, and then we can get the full load. But hey, that's 330 grand there, just earned. Plus the 45 what I've got. So that's around about 375, 380,000 what I've got, which is plenty for a bigger boat. And I think this will sell for about 40, 50,000, this boat I'm using now. So that'll give me enough money for the rigs and the nets and the lines and whatever else I need. And then I'll be able to use the sonar. It cost me 35,000. I've not used yet. A lot of fishing. We could just turn around and head back to the harbour, but you'd lose your pods because you wouldn't be able to get back in time to pick them up, and each pod costs you $1,000. So 5-6 pods, that's £6 grand. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. So it's worth picking them up. Can't make the numbers out on the screen. It's 98 or 99, so about 1 or 2 kilograms short of 16,000 kilograms. How's Sadie's stamina doing? Oh, she's alright. She'll feel a lot better when we get back to port. She's got 50 grand in her pocket. 50 grand. $251 back at sea. I mean, we could keep the boat, keep the funds, do another run. We're still in May, we've still got up to the 31st, it's on the 16th now. Not quite sure what I want to do, to be honest. The problem I've got is that I don't know what your potential earnings are on a bigger ship. When I looked at the price per fish from the harbours, the lobster was the highest, much higher than anything else. So yeah. So where are we? We're here. We could go into Dennis's Point. We could go into Dennis's Point because it's on the way. I think we're closer. Yeah, we're closer to there than Yarmouth. They don't have a lot of ships. And then what we could do, load up the pods. There's a crab up here, no, lobster up here, yeah, what we could do, nip into Dennis's Port, Dennis's Point, sorry, because it's right there. Offload the fish, get paid, reload the bait, and then we could set off and head. I know there's 3 lobster there, but there's 2 there. Well, there was 3. These change, but the reports from the harbours, they're not. So because the lobster are moving left to right, I'm thinking if I move over here to the right, to the likes of Lockheed Port, which I've been to, I've unlocked it, but I can't remember what ships they have. We should get a report there for a lobster in this area, so then we can fish it and then haul it to whatever port this is going to be called up here, which I've not been to yet, and then I've been to them all. And we've got the Digby harbour up there, which I've been to. And then I've explored the map. But yeah, I just want to show you this. So where my ship is there, you can see the colour of the sea. It goes from like light blue to a bit darker still, and then light, and then it just goes really, really, really dark way over here. And there is ships here, so I'm wondering what are they fishing for. I'm sure out here it's going to be bad weather. It's going to be, yeah, horrendous, I reckon. We're getting like waves, choppy waves here. They're not massive, but we're getting choppy waves in my little dinghy. So what they're fishing for over there, I've not a clue. Still, come on, Sadie, we're waiting on you. Northern with a bigger boat. I don't know, it might be worthwhile hanging out rather than buying the next boat. I'll go see what the other harbour has to offer, and it may be worthwhile buying a boat from there. Ideally, I wanted a boat that does the lobster and a deep line. I can switch back and forth, travels faster, that kind of thing. Perfect, all done. Done to rest. The good thing is the crew stays with me. So if I move on to a bigger boat, I'm not going to lose the crew. Like I say, it's costing you money on the training for the, increase the cooking or whatever. So the last thing you want to do is change ship and lose your crew and all the money you spent on training them. Well, there we have it, guys. There we have it. Full load of lobster, 16 tons, 330,000 plus the 40, 370 give or take. And I'm going to weigh that in. So on the next live, hopefully I should have a bigger ship, and we can do a different sort of fishing. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please click the bell, do the subscribe thing. And drop a comment if you play the game or you're playing the game. What's your thoughts? I know it's not, a fast-paced game. I don't think it's intended to be a fast-paced game. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Fortnite where you're running around with a rifle just shooting at anything that's got a heartbeat. It's a fishing game. And if you ever played Deadliest Catch on the PC, which I did many years ago, this is very similar indeed. Yes, the graphics are a bit outdated. I'm playing the enhanced version, but I think overall I'm enjoying it, and I thank you for joining me. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Thank you for joining me, and all the best.